Hello, welcome to my video, and today I'm covering the game between Jelle Sarrau, I'm sorry for butchering it, but I don't know better, and Magnus Carlsen from European Club Cup. They achieved this endgame, and you can see, first thing you can see is that bishop on f1 is really bad. He cannot get out. His only chance is to achieve something with his active queen. He went bishop g2 first. Now Magnus defends the e4 pawn by queen e6. Here white had a nice chance to just capture on e4, and after queen e4 to take on f7, and in case of queen e7 to just keep giving checks. In case of king c7 to go king f4, and black cannot do much, because if black's queen leaves the 7th rank, then the king is not safe. He'll get checked a lot. Instead he went for queen g7. Black goes king e7, trying to support his bishop. Queen d4. Before I continue, I want to show you this. It's important to know that after queen e7, white cannot exchange queens, because if king takes, this pawn endgame is winning. Because the g pawn is a passed pawn, and those two pawns on e file are going to be taken. So after king e5, this would be a fairly simple win. After this, takes king e3, and then he'll take on e2 also, and after that he can go for the h4 pawn, and you all know the rest. Now black is going to collect these 3 pawns on the queen side, and that's game over. So in every case, white wants to avoid the pawn endgame, which is totally lost. We were here in bishop g6, defending e4 and still keeping the bishop on g2. Queen g7 and now king e8. King f7 played, queen b8 and now queen f6. Hinting towards queen a1 and queen a3, but still, even if he takes on a3, queen is very powerful, and it's gonna deliver some nasty checks. Queen c7, king f8, and now queen g3 back. They shuffle a bit for a couple of more moves. And now Magnus decides to go to the queen side with king f7, king e6, queen d5, and now queen e5, offering the trade. Also, the bishop endgame is lost here. If he takes on e5, now king e5, and the king just simply goes on the queen side, and that's game over. Also, if he tries queen f2 here, then black has king d5. After queen e1, he gets to c4, and he infiltrates into the queen side. He can always escape some checks by covering with his queen, and that's fine for black, it's winning. So here he played queen e1. Now king d5 doesn't make sense, because after queen d2, king c4, he's now winning, because after king c3, queen a1, you take the queen, so black cannot enter d5 just yet. He went bishop f5 first. Now queen d2 and now queen g3, attacking the h4 pawn, after which there's nothing left than to play this, queen d8, defending the pawn on h4, and also trying to get his queen more active. But now he's losing his e3 pawn, but it's still okay. Queen c1 check, king h2, and now queen f4. It's okay because white's queen is too strong, and it can always deliver some uncomfortable checks. So king h1 was played, and now g3. After which white had the one move that saves the game, and he didn't play it. He played queen g8 instead. If he played e3 in this position, this would save the game, because if he captures, then he just has queen d6 and perpetual check. He cannot avoid perpetual in this case. Let's put some moves on the board, like king f6. You always have queen d6, bishop e6, and if he tries this to enter d4, then just queen d6, and he has to go back. After e3, if he tries something else like queen e5 to control d6, then he has queen e8. And now what's strange is that now when the e2 pawn is off the board. Now this endgame is a draw, because after king e5, now bishop f1. He's holding the c4 square, which is important for black's king's penetration. And next moves are going to be king g2 and capturing the g3 pawn, after which it's a complete draw. But instead, he plays queen g8. And now king d7, queen f7 and king d8. Now he's escaping towards c7, b7 and disabling white to give checks. Now e3 was played. If he tried something like queen f8 here, then just king c7 would win. After this, king b8, and after this one more check, king b7. And he escapes to a6, where white has no checks. And he's ready to either play queen c1 checkmate or queen h4 with queen h2. In the game he played e3, but after queen h4, white simply resigned in this position, because if he goes king g1, queen h2, king f1, now bishop h3 is very strong. Black has several checks, but eventually black's king gets to a6 in the end. If queen f6, let's say, then king c7, queen e7, king c8, queen e8, king b7, and now it's important that white doesn't have queen d7 check because of the bishop. And he only has this queen e7 check, which is really dull. And after king a6, he cannot deliver any more checks without losing the queen. This is just hopeless. Now the bishop on g2 is hanging, and it's pretty much over. I hope you enjoyed this and have a nice day. Bye.